Hello, this is Ivan Irons, and we're just getting into a new section here of the actual plasma cutting of the stomp pad. So you see this first set, it's really just kind of setting up the machine and zeroing out. Here we go into the actual cutting. Now if you remember from when we were back in mock, kind of checking through the G-code, you go through and you do your interior cuts first, and so that's what we're doing to start with. So you saw that was a short little plasma cut. This one's going to be a short one as well. When it gets back around and makes its loop, it'll stop. We'll have a lead out, it'll stop, and move on to the next cut. You saw there was a little delay in between those. I build that into my G-code, and it's actually just a part of my post-processor, so that's something you can program as well. I like to do that really because of tip-ups, and what a tip-up is sometimes when you have those bigger interior cuts, that's a piece all in its own, and when you get done cutting it, it actually tips up, and part of that metal will be sticking up in the air, and then your plasma cutter could go across it and rip up all sorts of stuff. So here we're going with the interior cuts, a little bit closer look, see plasma working. Now this is aluminum. Kind of my experience, again, whatever your plasma cutter can do really depends on the power source, the actual plasma cutter, or how thick of material it can cut, and also for how fast it can cut through that. Overall, my plasma cutter isn't that powerful. It doesn't need to be. Usually the thickest material that I'm doing is like 1/8 inch, something like 12 gauge. But it can do up to 1/4 of an inch I've found, but I have to really slow it down to like 15 inches per minute to do that. But I guess what I was saying before is when I cut aluminum, I guess I've noticed over time that usually I need to turn it up a little bit more. This is thinner material here that we're cutting, but it seems like I need to turn it up and use more energy to punch through aluminum. Aluminum, it cuts a little bit different too. It almost melts out of the way versus when you plasma cut, say mild steel for example, it just absolutely disintegrates the material and blows out dust out of the back side of it. Aluminum, when we get done with this cut, I'll flip that over there and you'll see that it kind of has melted stalactite looking things on the back of it that we'll have to grind off, and it kind of melts out of the way. That's the difference of aluminum. Well, you'll see it's going around and doing the perimeter cut. It's just about finished up there. Once it's done, stops. See, come in here and take a little bit closer look at it as well. There's another look, kind of side just to see it, walk around. In your G-code programming, you can also have it return to 00 if you want. Usually I just stop it wherever it is and move it out of the way. Just kind of a top-down look coming in of what we just finished cutting. And then just kind of coming in from the side to show you that as well. We'll move it out of the way. Plasma cutter head. I'll come in here and pop it out. Sometimes when you're pulling out parts, it's quite a bit of work. They can really get jammed in there depending on how many edges they have. There you flip it over, you see all that slag or dross on that on the stomp pad there. That aluminum really almost melts out of the way and just kind of sticks up. So